Constantino. Pound for pound.
Here with Mikey Garcia. Mikey is fight week. Canelo versus Saunders, May 8th on the zone this Saturday. You're on the commentating booth, correct?
Yeah, we'll be on the desk with the zone. I was invited by the zone to do the Spanish broadcast with Ricardo Celis and Claudia Trejo. So I mean, I'm excited for it because it's a great matchup. It's a great fight, and I get to fucking be there, fucking ringside, holding the mic and talking to the fans, the audience. It's a great opportunity. So I couldn't say no.
Do you feel a different type of adrenaline when you're commentating, calling the fights, or not?
Nah, I'm actually pretty comfortable. Yeah, it's more like just what I would do if it was you or my brother next to me and we're discussing the fight. When we're at home, it's maybe a little more chill, more laid back.
A little more curse words.
Yeah. So I gotta watch for the curse words, but overall, we're discussing the boxing. We're discussing what we see in the ring, what I see a fighter doing, what he should be doing. Just things like that. So it's no different. So it's pretty comfortable. I like it. The best part is that I get to fucking be here, watching that kind of fight. Like I told you when I was telling you right now, when we did the Chocolatito versus Estrada, I had actually called to go to the fight. Like I wanted to go to the fight, right? And then when they invited me to come do the commentary, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, it's even better,
Yeah.
So I mean, it works out, that we get to come watch the fight. I mean, we're boxing fans too.
Yeah.
I'm a fighter, but I'm also a fan.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win situation for me.
Right. What do you make of the fight? Obviously, they just faced off for the first time today. They got into it a little bit. BJ was saying, you love that Mexican beef. You like that Mexican beef. And
I didn't see that. I was on the flight right now. I just got in, so I haven't seen that. Let me see, because I haven't seen. I was flying in right now. I just got in, so I haven't seen that.
You're gonna put it on.
I mean, I know they, it's fight week, and sometimes some fighters like to stir things up. Some fighters like to try to get in under a fighter's skin. Well, that's already a bad sign for him. That Versace robe is bad luck.
Really?
It's already a bad sign for him. Sorry, Billy Joe.
Says he never fought a gypsy. I spoke to Canelo after when he was walking out, and I was like, well, what'd you think? What'd you make of it? He's like, he's scared. I can tell he's scared.
I mean, you can maybe think, or get that, I mean, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm not the one to talk. I'm not one to start talking and bashing or things. Fighters, go through different things. A fight week, different excitement, different emotions. Billy Joe might be a little nervous, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe he's just that confident and he's trying to get under Canelo's skin.
Right.
So I mean, there's different ways to look at it.
He's for sure coming into the fight super confident.
He's confident, and he should.
Yeah.
He should. Every fighter should come in confident. If you're gonna come into a fight, nervous as fuck, and then all scared, you already lost. So he should come in confident. But someone could interpret that as maybe him being a little overconfident, or maybe a little nervous, and he's trying to cover that by being loud and making those statements and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know. I mean,
but why'd you say that the Robe is bad luck?
Because I've seen other fighters come out with that, and they end up losing. They wear that same robe. I think, was it Masvidal?
I think so, yes.
I think I seen him and someone else. I think had that same fucking robe and they lost.
Maybe I'm not. Don't quote me. I think Conor McGregor before he fought him last fight.
Possibly, I don't know.
I could be wrong.
Well, I seen something about that earlier, like not earlier, but a couple months ago or weeks ago. So I'm just saying that right now.
What'd you make of it? What's like? You obviously.
They said that. I think like the 2 or 3 fighters that were wearing that lost or some shit. I don't know. I think it was Masvidal and I think it might have been Conor or whoever the fuck it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it's out there, he might end up losing.
All right. And what'd you make of the whole like BJ saying like he wanted the ring a certain size? You as a fighter, does it play a role?
See, I don't know the full details, so I don't know what was agreed upon. I've only heard 1 or 2 comments regarding that. If there was a stipulation under contract that said ring has to be, X amount of feet, this size, then they obviously need to honor that. If the agreement didn't state that, then you don't really have a big.
Who gets to say if it doesn't say in their contract? I'm just curious. I don't know. You've been in big fights, so you.
Yeah, but I've never put claims like that. I don't care. I've never fucking demanded, the ring be a certain size.
Yeah.
I've never demanded you wear certain
winning gloves,
certain kind of glove. Yeah. Same ounces, of course. We gotta have the same ounces gloves. You gotta be commission approved. But I've never demanded a specific brand of gloves. I've never demanded certain things like that. But you could demand things like that. Now, if Billy Joe is asking for a specific size of ring, or if he demanded that early in his contract negotiations, if he wanted a 22-foot ring, that leads me to believe that he wants to box and use the entire ring to move around. I don't know what they agreed on. I don't know what the whole point is. I don't know if they are doing 20 or 22 or 24 or whatever. So I really don't have a lot of comment on that.
Okay, and lastly, what do you make of the fight? Do you see it as 50-50, like pick the fight?
Look, I don't think it's a 50-50, but I do think Saunders will have some good rounds in the beginning.
Right.
Out of the first maybe 5 rounds, I could see him winning maybe 2 of the first rounds. So the first half might be a little interesting, but I think Canelo figures out what to do and picks up the pace and starts to build a bigger lead, close the gap, close the distance, cut the corners, all that. I think Canelo wins, but maybe in those first 5-6 rounds, maybe Billy Joe Saunders wins 2 or 3 of those first rounds and is a pretty competitive early half of the fight. But I think Canelo takes over after.
Mikey, you've had the privilege to fight in that arena. Once you step in there with all the fans, it kind of like takes your breath away. Like, what do you make of those emotions that BJ is going to face once he steps in there in that arena? Not just
any fighter. All the fighters wish to headline and be in a huge event, a big arena with all the fans like that. I'm hearing 70,000 fans. That's breaking numbers. That's numbers that are not seen by many fighters. So that will be emotionally a little overwhelming at times. On the ring walk, you start to look around. But I think at that point, fighters, you're focused. When I was there, I didn't even get to really soak that in. I was there to get in the ring. I was there to fight. I didn't get a chance to really,
take it all in.
Take it in, yeah, soak it in like that. So I don't know if Billy Joe Saunders will be doing that. Canelo's been in the arena, like in this same arena. He's been in events where 40, 50,000 plus attendance. So he might be a little more comfortable.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the most fans that would attend his fight.
He did, I think he did
51,000 against Liam Smith.
Yeah, he did like 51,000, 52,000, I think it was, something like that. So I don't think he's gonna notice a big difference because he's already experienced it. Saunders might, but I don't know. It's a lot of fucking fans. But like I said, you're focused on the fight.
How do you drown the noise when you're coming out? 70,000 people are like, hey, we want you to get
You're focused on the fight, bro. It's just, that's what it is. You hear the fans, but...
Like tunnel vision?
Somewhat like tunnel vision, yeah.
Because I know you told me that when you walk out, you get very emotional.
I do. I have. That night was different. I didn't really pay much attention to the fans. I could hear them, but I didn't get a chance to really soak it up. It was more of a tunnel vision that night. Every fight is a little different.
And lastly, Any last message of as far as what fans can expect from this fight? Obviously, the lead-up is great so far.
Like I say, I think it's gonna be a very good matchup. Styles make fights is what we always kind of say, and this could be that fight. Saunders can box effectively, can box and make things difficult for Canelo. But can Canelo overcome that? Can Canelo cut the ring? Can Canelo shorten that distance and really take over? That's what we're here to see. I think he can. I think Canelo wins this fight, but I think Saunders has a good chance to be very effective in the earlier rounds.
Constantino Garcia here for Little Giant Boxing. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow me on social media at Constantino Garcia.